Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, make sure you smash that like button. Keep smashing that like button. I really appreciate your support. It really helps my channel. Keep getting those likes up. Keep helping me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. It really pushes my channel. It really helps me. And I really appreciate everyone's support, guys. I really do. It means a lot. It does. We will hopefully do a live stream tomorrow. I know I haven't done one for a couple of days, just been a bit tied up, a bit busy, but yeah, 100% we'll get the live stream out tomorrow, and we'll chop it up. Guys, I want to get straight into this. I want to talk a little bit about Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Jr. has called out Caleb Plant if he wins the Undisputed fight. You know what? A lot of people call Chris Eubank Jr. deluded. And they think that this is a guy that really talks in the air and, he kind of hasn't achieved all that much and he kind of thinks he's a big shot. And I think this sums it up a little bit. Like, I've always been somebody that has liked Chris Eubank. I don't really have the perception that a lot of the British public have. I think he's a lot better than what they give him credit for. And I think if he's put in the right fight at world level, I feel he can win. I just think there's certain styles that are all wrong for him. And I think people seem to think he's a very bad fighter rather than the fact that he just struggles against certain styles that are not good for him. But if you put him in there with a certain style, a banger, a guy that likes, like David Lemieux, for example, was a world-class fighter. Even though he's not a great, he's a fringe world-class, but still he won a world title, Lemieux. Like, for me, Eubank would do well against someone like that. Billy Joe did well against someone like that. Although it could be dangerous for Eubank because Lemieux can punch, but against the right style, I feel like I think Eubank would blossom. Against the right style. So I think certain styles, unfortunately, are maybe all wrong for him. But against certain styles, I believe Chris Eubank can do some business. He definitely could win a world title against. Right now at middleweight, there's no easy option because I think all of the guys will beat him. But, there was fighters before. Like, I think Chris Eubank might do well against Jaime Munguia. I think that would be a fight that I think he could do well in because Munguia's a slugger, a bit one-dimensional. And I think Eubank might be able to do well. Not to say he will definitely win, but I think he could do well in that fight. But here's what I find funny about Chris Eubank, right? The way he's just saying that, the way he called out Caleb Plant and saying, I want to fight Caleb Plant if he beats Canelo for the undisputed, why would... Think about it, guys. Like, firstly, what makes Eubank think, or what makes Eubank feel that he deserves a Caleb Plant fight if he beats Canelo? And what makes him think that Caleb Plant is going to say, I want to fight Chris Eubank Jr. I've just beaten Canelo Alvarez. And I think that's where people start to call him delusional, because that is delusional talk. The fact that he thinks that that he deserves a Caleb Plant fight if he beats Canelo Alvarez, and he thinks that Caleb Plant is going to be interested in him. Why? I think he has an inflated opinion about, firstly, his boxing ability and his star power. He's not as big as what he thinks he is, right? And why would he be such a big star? He's never won a world title. He's had some good wins against Arthur Abraham, De Gea, who was past their best. But, the two fights, and I don't want to say Billy Joe was his big fight because Billy Joe was a domestic level fight, but the big fight for him was George Groves. And that was a guy that was a world champion. That was the fight there for Eubank to win. And he lost it. And I don't really look at the Billy Joe fight and give him, because I think Billy Joe, that was a close fight. That was a close fight that went a split decision. He was a British level fighter at that point. And I think that fight, was close. I think the Groves fight, he was outboxed and he got made to look bad. If I'm totally honest with you, Groves made him look bad in that fight. And for me, that really hurt his credibility amongst the British fans, that loss. I think the British fans got put off because they're thinking this guy He's not as good as what you know he, him and his father think. But I think the problem is with these guys that I think it's the fact that they think they're a lot bigger than, like, Eubank thinks he's a lot bigger than what he is. The fact that he's coming out and saying he's the A-side. I'm not saying that. Billy Joe's a big star or anything, but Billy Joe's done more. Even though I don't think he's had a stellar, even though he says he's a two-weight world champion, he's hardly had a stellar run against stellar fight, a lot of top fighters. But even his, it's arguable because Eubank's got, for me, better names in DeGale and Abraham. But the fact is that he fought them when they were past their best. If Eubank had beaten Groves now, and then you have Groves, DeGale, and Abraham, even though they were past their best, Abraham, and then I believe Eubank's got the better resume. I do. But that Groves fight really hurts his credibility. So I don't think there's a lot in it between the two. It's just the fact that Billy Joe got a chance to fight for 2 world title belts. And I believe Eubank would have won those. I believe Eubank would have beaten Lee. And I think Eubank would have beaten Shifat Asufi. That's not even a question. He would have definitely beaten him. So I don't really think Billy Joe's done a lot that Eubank wouldn't do as well. Because I think Eubank would beat most of the guys that Billy Joe's beat. But the fact that Eubank thinks that he's entitled to a Caleb Plant fight if Caleb Plant beats Canelo is almost laughable. Because why is Caleb Plant going to want to fight? He's going to be wanting a rematch with Canelo Alvarez to secure the bag, not to fight Eubank. Chris Eubank is not a name. Like, he's not the name that he thinks he is. Yeah, his name is because of his father. And yeah, he's marketed himself in a way where he's relevant and people talk about him. But a lot of that is down to the fact that his father was who he was. And that's why he's got such a big platform. But in terms of him, I like Chris Eubank, and I actually like Chris Eubank a lot more than what a lot of the British public seem to think. But the fact that he thinks that he's entitled to a Caleb Plant fight, for me, is almost laughable. Why would Caleb Plant want to entertain a Chris Eubank Jr. fight if he's just beaten Canelo Alvarez? And firstly, I don't think Caleb Plant's going to beat Canelo Alvarez, so it's going to be irrelevant. But the fact is, even if he does beat Canelo, why is Chris Eubank going to want to fight? Why is Caleb Plant going to want to fight Chris Eubank? It's crazy. But yeah, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think about the career direction of Eubank's career. What do you think's next for Eubank? What do you want to see from Eubank? Who do you want to see Eubank fight? I know he's having this fight. You could say a warm-up fight for the big fights. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd really love to know your opinion about the career, that the direction of that his career is going in. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.